Well, at least they shoveled the walkway. Let's go say hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Mike.
I'm Claren.
Hi, Claren.
Thank you.
I understand you have a burst pipe. Oh, you look sad. Don't be so sad.
We have a lot going on. Okay, so what happened was the heat keeps like dropping. I'll just show you when we get downstairs.
Okay.
You had not like heat.
Okay,
so we went
basically the thermostat kept dropping. This morning it was at 60 and we were raising it up.
Okay.
My dad is in the ICU right now, which
Oh,
is
I'm sorry.
everything's very hectic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay. So what he had told us was
Oh, we've
that,
been here before.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have your number.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
so
has been years though. Okay. Go ahead,
So
sorry.
what he had told us is that this needs to be like at a certain water
Halfway,
line, right?
yes.
And so it was a little bit lower, and we thought that's why the heat was dropping.
Okay.
So my mom used this lever
To add water.
To add water, she pushed it down.
Okay.
I think she left it down.
And then what happened?
Then
Flood occurred.
yes, upstairs, all over the place, things were dripping here. We figured out we do have to close it this way. My brother told us to shut off the water over here, so I turned.
The main water valve off.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a step back.
Yeah.
So you what position did you see that valve in?
So I don't know where it was before she moved it.
Okay.
But
Where was it when
When
you?
it was like flooding,
Yes.
it was straight
Down.
like this, and I
Okay.
pulled it up.
So yeah. So that was the
was
problem.
down. So that
Someone
meant it was
opened
on.
it. You have a lot on your
She
plate
didn't
right
realize
now.
Yeah, she didn't realize she didn't pull it
So
shut.
let's turn this off because you're killing the boiler. We have to. You didn't do anything else except close that. Okay. So we're
Yeah.
gonna have to spend a little bit of time here and drain the boiler down,
Okay.
and all the piping, which also probably has tons of water in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be okay. But the adding of water. How often are you adding water to the boiler?
It's only when this is like
I think it
low,
happens like once
when
or
it's
twice a week.
lower,
They go
like
to add
twice,
it.
once a week or twice.
Once or twice a week?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been adding water? Once or twice a week?
No,
Only when it's really cold, or
no,
like
I don't know how my husband was doing.
Okay.
Our son was here. My son was here.
No, but how long? Like for 3 months, 6
Oh,
months?
this I don't know.
I think he only does it when it's cold.
Yeah,
but
he's
it's
when-
like a routine he usually knows to do.
Okay, no
He-
problem.
So we
yes.
just did it like let's say over the weekend, and now we're about to do it. But like we said, we probably left this on.
Understood. Okay, is there a sink down here?
No.
No.
Okay. Is that window open fully? I got it. Let's see. Not really. Okay. I'm gonna have the
Other
bucket.
window
The bucket
here.
look great. No, because I have to. There's gonna be a lot of water to get rid of.
Okay, we have another window right here. Is there a way?
Oh, yeah. So that'll work. Okay, very
Okay.
good. All right, we got this Penco gas-fired boiler. It's got a field controls power vent damper on it. We were here many years ago, but someone left that open accidentally and flooded out the house, flooded out the boiler, and now we're gonna use the pump since there's no sink down here to fix that. Make all the water go away. I was gonna bring it to here, but then I noticed all that cocky there and how that's sliding actively around there, and that appears to be a kitchen sink drain line, which then goes around here to that drum trap. Well, picking up the drum trap with that 3x2Y, and then goes here, wraps back around, and goes out the house trap. So we need to take this screen out. Yeah, ain't that lovely? All right, I have a laundry hose at this boiler drain hooked up to my Liberty 331 transfer pump. We're gonna disconnect one of these appliances, wrap that around so it doesn't fall down behind and I forget about it. And once they remove that screen, the homeowners said they're gonna go outside and pull the screen out from outside, but I said, you're nuts. That's frozen snow. Good luck with that. Guess I can just stick the hose through the screen, but all that nasty boiler, steam boiler cocky is gonna be all stuck into the screen. It's gonna be a mess, I already know it. Yeah, we were here a long time ago, folks. Look. 2013? No way. I gotta look at that. Come on. Come on. 2012. No. 2017. 11/11/17. Look at that. Testo 320, baby. Let's prime the pump. She's primed. Okay, now, as long as Derek properly drained out my hose the last time we used it, it's not gonna be frozen. There's the water. There she goes. All right. By the way, take a look at this. That's a lot of intensity right there. My God, it's a lot of intensity. Jeez Louise. It's gonna take some time to drain out the piping. 2-inch steam copper main there. See, this is why you don't use copper on steam. You see? It fails. The constant expansion and contraction of steam hitting that soldered joint. I guess if you braze it, it would be fine, but just soldering with steam using copper. You gotta read The Lost Art of Steam Heating after you read I've Got Steam Heat, written by the legend, Dan Holohan. Go to heatinghelp.com for more info on that. But, my God, look at this. This is like, it's like perfectly pitched level. Oh my God. They went through all that expense of copper for replacing the main, but then they did this for hangers. It's crazy. Sad. It's upsetting when clients of mine pay twice, 3 times, sometimes multiple times before the problem gets resolved. But if you live in the Long Island area and you're tired of getting bamboozled by an HVAC contractor, you know what to do. All right. Not much I can do right now. I'm not going to take anything apart. We're here on that emergency. We'll deal with combustion and the burners later. But one of the things that are on my mind right now is the condition of the low water cutoff, the pigtail, the pressure troll. This is the low water cutoff. This is the number 67. Float style number by McDonnell Miller, low water cutoff. This is the pigtail. This is that pressure control, the pressure troll. But what's interesting is that the homeowner was adding water. Now, the typical person who's been taking care of the boiler, the husband, he's not here right now. But what's interesting is that the WFE24, the automatic water feeder, which is wired, appears to be wired to the low water cutoff, is not filling the boiler, and that's resulted in the homeowner adding water and accidentally leaving it on. So we have to figure that out later. We're almost done draining. And then you're gonna notice a lot of leaks are gonna stop. So the water level is about 3/4 full right now. We're gonna bring it halfway, which is where it needs to be normally. And then we're gonna test everything, make sure it works. So we are just about done with that. Let's close that. And what we'll do is fire it back up.
So the water, that thing is off though, right?
Yeah, but we don't need water right now. I'll turn that back on in a minute though. But yeah, I totally forgot about that though. But yeah, we don't need water right now. We need to get rid of the water.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so the thermostat in the, let's see what happens because now those okay, that's a good sign. So your most boilers use a chimney, right? Your boiler doesn't. It uses this thing right here, and this is it's called a power venter, or it allows this type of boiler not to have a chimney, it just vents outside the house. And if I recall correctly, it probably in like 2017 when we were here last, we had to do something with that because it broke. I do remember that though. So right now that is on, and it should fire up, and then we'll see what happens. So far so good. I don't know how much of the maintenance side of things your father's doing or others are doing, but you really don't want to neglect it. You know, it's good to have, you know, I get it. You know, some people like to be able to do their own repairs and fix things, which I get as long as they can do it the right way. But maybe every few years have a professional come in and double check everything. Yeah. Or we also have maintenance plans where we come here once a year like clockwork, and you don't have to do anything except, add, drain water once a month because it's steam. But all right, let's see why it's not doing. All right, folks. Right now I got to diagnose this McDonnell Miller number 67 low water cutoff. When I got here, this was plugged into port number 4. All right, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's normally a shunt between 2 and 3. All right, 1. This was at 1, and that's 3, and this is feeder. And in case you're wondering what all this gibberish means, looks like that. Okay. So the top one is 2 limits burner circuit. So that should be 24 volts leaving. Number 2 is from boiler power source. That should be 24 volts or 110 volts. I think it does both. Yeah, 110 volts or 24. And then 4 is the feeder. So let's figure out which one is 24 volts and make sure that's right, because wires were just hanging here everywhere. So let's figure that out. So let's take our multimeter. And by the way, in case you're wondering what else is going on here, that duct tape on the power vent water. See, look at how yellow that cellular core PVC is doing right there. You see that, folks? Yeah. Gotta love it, huh? Absolutely gotta love it. Voltmeter. Let's find which one is 24 volts. See that right there, maybe. So you can see what I'm doing, or not. Let's see, get the bed wet. Actually, you're not gonna be able to see it. Let's just put that like that. Whatever. Okay. Do to a ground somewhere, right there. This is 10 volts right there. That is 2. 6. Man, what is going on here, folks? Right here, we have 10 volts on this one right here. Let's go to a different ground. Let's go to there. But once it gives me more, 9. And the other one, 6. This is all football, man, I swear. Oh my God. Alright, so let me show you what I did. I put a wire between 2 and 3, which needs to be there. And now, there's low water, the boiler turns off. See that? And now I have to break the news to the homeowner where the father, the husband, has been tinkering with this, and he is not an electrical engineer. He's a welder. I've already proven that the pressure control is correct. I've proven that the low water cutoff by manipulating the valve there, turns off the boiler. We're now going to dump some more water out of the boiler from the drain, proving that the low water cutoff works and turns off the boiler when there's no water. And we're going to put together a proposal to, I guess, rejuvenate the system and maybe put them under maintenance plan. But come on, guys. Like, everything here is wrong. Man. You could bring a camel to water, but you can't make it drink.